We're here today with two candidates in the West End for the OBA. We have Rodrae Durrant and Kellan Lewis. Gentlemen, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rodrae, let the viewers know, who are you?
My name is Rodrae Durrant. Most people know me as a Bean from the Somerset community. I am a father of two and someone looking to make change in this community.
And Kellan?
I'm a 33-year-old man. I'm a proud father of 3 young girls, and I'm a long life resident of 32, and I'm just here to make change in my community.
So Kellan, many of your peers are most likely PLP supporters because as you were growing up, you know, your families were PLP and you yourself come from a very strong PLP family. What was that like when you decided to not just support the OBA but to become a candidate?
You know, families gonna feel how they feel. They may not support it, but they support me. And they know my heart's in the right place. They know why I'm doing it. And so ultimately, their decision to support me came from the position of knowing me. And I support the OBA because I understand the OBA. I understand what they're trying to do. I understand where they're going. And I understand they represent the full totality of the island. And so it's indicative of my candidacy and others. So
Rodrae, how has canvassing been so far?
It's been a little bit of everything, I guess. You know, it's been encouraging most people. They see young people finally getting involved, having a say in the future. But on the other hand, I do see a lot of people just so content with the way things are right now. It's just that they don't feel like they can trust anyone or someone they can relate to. So that's another reason why I decided to get in, because I always felt I couldn't relate to our elected officials. So to have young Black Bermudian people like ourselves being involved, it gives not only the older generation something else to look at, but it gives the younger generation inspiration to have a say in the future.
Now, you're both fathers. How important is it as Black fathers to show your children leadership? Kellan?
I definitely see it's very important. And reason why, because we didn't have representation like that when I was coming up, really. You know, my father had his challenges, and you know, I didn't really see a strong leader in him, but I saw a strong leader in my mother. So one of the things I wanted to do is make sure that my kids can see a strong leader in me versus seeing it just from the mother.
Kellan, what have been, for those who have spoken to you, and even just in the broader community when you're out and about, what have been some concerns that are top priorities for people in your generation?
Some of the top priorities is the economy, and definitely jobs, and the cost of living, rents, mortgages, and the lack of opportunities to get a step on the ladder to home ownership. I mean, some people can't even save $1,000 a month, let alone a down payment for a house. So, you know.
Rodrae, have you heard anything differently? Are there different things in your constituency?
No, I think every area has the same issues, you know, and the main thing is most people want is the consistency. What we have is that officials that hasn't been doing the job. You know, we live on West Side Road. That road hasn't been paved for 65 years. So it's like we can't point fingers at who to blame, but you know, us as a community also need to come together and make some of these changes.
Now let's talk about specifically young Black men. Rodrae, I'll come to you first. What are some of the issues that you feel that if you were successful as in your quest to become an MP and the OBA overall, if they were to win, what would be some of the things that you would want to see for young Black men specifically?
More leadership, not only from government, but from community as well. Like Kellan said, we didn't really have too much male role models to look at in our community, so that's very important. And you know,
but some may say that you could be a leader now. What are some other issues perhaps that need to be addressed? Could be jobs, it could be support in some form. Is there anything that stands out that perhaps you think that gentlemen in your, especially black males in your age group, need support with?
I'd say like mental health, support with mental health. I mean, trying to build a life for yourself is challenging as it is right now. And so having all those factors coupled with just life itself,
Trying to survive.
it can drive people to a dark place. And then also, some people we don't really have much to do, right? So the entertainment is really just drinking, and self-medicating with, street pharmaceuticals, we call it, And then, after a while, that starts to, mix in with your environment, your conditions, and it's a bad situation.
And I think that's why it's such a big umbrella, because when we look at all the issues facing the island, there's so many areas we have to address. And I think that's why back to the basics would be the best thing to do. We need to fix the communities from there. Families can heal. And as our families grow, more Bermudians, bigger economy, we can all start taking care of each other. So I feel like when people look at everything that's going on, then you're looking at what we notice, the roads, jobs and stuff, but it all goes back to the community.
It's no secret that, oh, sorry, I thought you were saying cut. It's no secret that a number of young Bermudians, when I say young, meaning under 40, they're leaving the island with the intention of not coming back. Kellan, how do you feel when you see so many leaving?
Well, to be honest with you, I contemplated that as well, I'll be very honest with you. But it couldn't sit right in my soul knowing that I was running away from a problem versus trying to help it. So that's why I said, well, I'm going to try. And, if all else fails, at least I could feel comfortable with myself knowing that I gave it my all. And I try to fight for this country and my community.
But, Rodrae, so you have a generation who, some of them they just don't care about voting, right? And to some, voting is so important and it plays a role in our children's future. How does that make you feel when you hear people saying, I'm not voting, it's not going to make a difference?
From my generation, I understand it a little bit because, they feel a little content. What surprises me most is when I heard the older generation talk about it. I'm like, the same people who told us to vote off our identity politics were the same people who told us leave the island, or, that they lost faith in the government that, we know. And I found that very surprising because I'm like, again, someone fought for our rights to vote. Let's exercise our use of freedom by voting. I get you might be content, again, like Kellan said, I feel like we've all been there. But now that I'm a father, I have to think about the future of my children. So.
Back to you, Rodrae. What have you learned most about yourself in the time that you've been canvassing and meeting people on the doorstep, whether negative or positive?
On the negative side, I'm realizing I'm a lot stronger than I thought because the abuse has come. But, again, people's free to feel how they feel. But, I made this decision on my own for myself and my family. No one coerced me into coming over and being a part of this party. I believe that they represent every face and every voice of the community, and it's about working together. Not only will you get a transparent government, but a collaborative government, and that's why I have so much faith in this party and the people involved.
Kellan, what about you? How's the feedback been? What have you learned about yourself in the time that you've canvassed?
I learned my mental toughness is a lot tougher than I thought. I knew I was strong, but I think this last fight was a show of my real strength, and just knocking at doorsteps, I think people are a lot more open than you would like to think they are. Sometimes we think, people are closed-minded in Bermuda, but that hasn't been my experience in its total experience, I feel like overwhelmed with, the amount of support I'm really getting. So I like to see that reflect in the polls, you know. So I'm looking forward to that day.
So Rodrae, you are in a very historically tough for you. You're in a very tough space because you're going to be going up against Mr. Lister II. Some people would have said, I don't want to be bothered with that. I'm going to lose anyway, right? Why did you decide that you're going to step in regardless of outcome?
I always tell people, you know, Dennis Lister is a neighborhood hero. To this day, I walk through my grandfather's office and it's still got Dennis Lister posted all over the wall. So, you know, I tell people it's nothing personal for me. It was more, you know, I'm always up for a challenge, number one. I'm always been an underdog, so, you know, that's nothing new to me. But like I said, it's just about the future. It's not about me, it's not about past, it's about the future of my children and everyone's children in the community. So I just want to make a difference for them.
Should you be unsuccessful, will you run again?
Yes, more than anything, another reason why I took this journey, because I always wanted to influence people or help people think about different things. I feel like sometimes we're a little too narrow-minded, and that's the good thing about the new generation coming up. You know, they're seeing the big world around them and they're looking around. I've had kids say, you know, we're here arguing about little old issues on little old Bermuda, and there's so much going on out there. So I think that's good to see from the new generation.
Now, Kellan, you live in a community that wants change. They've vocalized it. It is a PLP historical stronghold. And then now you have Mark Bean enter the race. So three-man race. How do you feel?
I feel confident. I mean, when people look at the facts of the situation, I believe they'll vote for me. One, I'm young. It's my first time, you know, and really, I've been in the community doing community work for a long time. You know, the community have seen me out there, first and foremost. Secondly, you know, I feel like if it's going to be a change, it would be me, because while I support the FDM's push for change as well, they have 10 candidates, you know, we have 36. So I think the rightful choice would be to, you know, vote for me, because realistically, the OBA is the only option that can form government. You know, the independents have a strong push as well, but I think ultimately the OBA is the best poised government.
So last question for each of you. Rodrae, you go first. At the end of this, when you look in the mirror, at the end of any day, when you look in the mirror, who do you see?
I see a father, dedicated, committed person. I see someone who just wants nothing but love and unity from my community. That's always what I grew up in, that's what we grew up in, and we just want to see that continue.
Same question to you, Kellan.
When I look in the mirror, I just see someone that has the fortitude to achieve anything that I want to achieve. I feel like I am a walking manifestation of my dreams. And everything I want to accomplish or have set out to accomplish, I've been pretty successful with that. So I think the person that I see in the mirror is a reflection of what the society can be with hope. But I'm laughing because me and Dre made headlines when we were younger for Bermy Boys.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so it's you know, it's a full circle situation for me, because I didn't even know he was even going to run. So it's good to have my mate with me.
So what is that, a rapid?
Yeah, we used to
drop a bar? Okay, either of you drop a bar real quick?
Very lost. Just called me, oh God, I ain't wrote one for a minute. Man.
Give me something, come on.
I was thinking about this the other day. They get drenched here. No, but how is that?
It would turn into a meme today.
Hold on. Brother, this is magnificent, but people get drenched here. Another Charles Richardson. Why? Is that because everyone else ought to fail, or because they profit from us all going to these jails? Whatever it be, we gotta get smarter, gotta get wiser. The plan is successful, consult an advisor. You gotta want it for yourself. The ancient people of Kemet said, man, know yourself. Your character traits is what leads to the wealth. And now I'm aware you can't do without no help. You gotta do it properly. Standing alone to get you murdered like Gaddafi. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute, yeah.